Is this thing on? Is this thing on? What's going on? Today, we're gonna take a look at a product that I think is really amazing for the price. And that product is the Tube MPC from ART is the name. Now, they make all kinds of great products, but today we're gonna be taking a look at the Tube MPC. Now, you might be asking yourself, Lloyd, what the is a Tube MPC? Well, let me tell you. It's two things. First of all, it's a preamp, which means it gives power to your microphone, whether it be a condenser microphone like this one or a dynamic microphone. The only difference, of course, is your 48 volts of phantom power. The other thing that it does, it will act as a compressor, analog compressor, going in before you hit Pro Tools or whatever DAW you're working with. And what that allows you to do is get real analog compression for a small... There's a couple of things that we got to talk about for this Tube MPC from ART. The first thing is that it takes a second or two to warm up, and that is completely normal. It's because it's an analog piece of gear, and it's well worth the wait. The extra 30 seconds will yield much better sound quality. Let's switch on over to this camera over here and show you guys how this thing works. So as you can see now, as I'm talking into the microphone, you're gonna see the lights go up as I put a bit more volume in there. So the first thing you're gonna see on the left side is the plus 20 gain. So I push that, I'm not going to, you're gonna hear a dramatic increase in my voice. So that's typically good for a dynamic microphone that, let's say, won't have as much power behind it. You can give it a nice little boost right here. Then you have your low cut, which is just rolling off some low end frequencies, probably 80 and below. Over here you have your standard gain, so if I play with this, you'll hear my voice gets lower and lower, and as I increase it, you're gonna hear that my voice is much more gained up. Now, this is the preamp side. Here we get to the compression side. Over here you have the speed, so push it in, it's fast, and pull it out, it's regular speed. The threshold is your main control here, so as I bring the threshold looser or tighter, you're gonna see, let's say I talk really loudly. You'll see the difference in those when I put the threshold all the way to the left. It's gonna catch more than if it was to the right. So I'm gonna put it back to where it was. Over here you can control the slope. So if you want it to compress, you leave it open. If you want it to limit, which is what it says up top there, you would push it in. I haven't really seen that much of a difference. I guess it would chop off transients a bit more. And then you can just turn it off altogether. And now you'll hear what it sounds like without any compression. Here it is. And I just turned it back on. Here is with the compression. Now, it's probably not doing much because I'm not really speaking very loudly. And then finally, over here on this side, you have the output knob, which we can turn up, and you're gonna hear my voice increase quite a bit. Or we can turn down, and you're gonna hear my voice decrease. Now, this is not to be confused with the gain knob on this side, which is pushing into your compressor, which is then being fed into your interface. In this case, I have Steinberg interface, which I control the gain on this side. So you want to play with the amount of gain you're pushing in. You want a healthy amount of gain pushing in, and then you can play with your compression settings. Then you can decide how much you want to send out to your interface, and you can then adjust how much you're putting into your DAW with this last knob over here. So that is a breakdown of the ART Tube MPC and all of its functions. Overall, do I recommend this product? Abso-freaking-lutely, because for this price, there's nothing comparable on the market. There just isn't. The fact that you get analog compression for that price and a preamp, pretty amazing. And if you want to take it a step further, you can even change the tube, because it's a Tube MPC, thus the name. You could change the tube to get an even warmer sound, or maybe you want something a bit, more distortion in it or something like that. You can swap out the tube in this thing. So for that reason, it's a really great item, great flexibility. Highly recommend it. Just as a test, this is my Aston Spirit going straight into my Steinberg interface. Test 1 2, test 1 2. And this is a recording with my Aston Spirit going through the tube MPC and then into my interface. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Do you hear a difference? Let me know in the comments below if you think it's worth the investment. Go on. I'll wait. Go ahead. While you're there, you might as well give this a thumbs up if you found this useful. It lets other people like you find it and give them the information that they need. Yeah, the freezers basically. Good.